host for B-Limitless. Katarina is a communication major here at Boise State and is making waves in our community in supporting our troops through her involvement in Operation Support Our Troops. She has found every possible way to promote this cause. Allow me to introduce to you Katarina Schweitzer. Thanks for being here. Now, I notice you're wearing a kind of fancy name tag. Would you mind telling me exactly what that is?
Yes, it's a sash, and it's from the Miss Idaho Organization, and it's a pageant where women can go and promote the needs that they want in the community and just promote themselves as strong women.
Okay, gotcha. And how did you get involved in this? What draw was the draw for you to come and be involved?
Yeah, so I first got involved in the Miss Idaho Organization because my best friend signed me up, and I had no idea about it. And she said, you know, I've seen you out in the community doing so many things, and why not do a pageant that promotes those interests of yours? And so I first got involved with doing my first pageant and have loved it ever since, and have promoted my platform of Operation Support Our Troops through the pageant.
So you originally started competing in order to promote this cause. Have you gained any other experiences, or have there been any other benefits to being involved?
Oh yes, well first off, meeting people through the organization has been an overall great experience. I've made so many new best friends and people who I can network with, and I gained a job out of it, and being able just to be in the community and support people around you.
Support as many people as you can, especially the troops.
Yes.
And do you have a personal connection with why you decided to be involved with this particular cause?
Yeah, so my dad is actually active duty military right now, and he's a commander in the Navy, has been in for 29 years, going on, probably still be going on, and he loves his job, and I've just watched him grow in the ways that I want to be when I grow up, and promoting the troops is something that connection really brought home to me.
And seeing someone actually probably benefit from all of the things that you've been doing. First, tell me a little bit about the things that you have done in order to support our troops, or support the cause Operation Support Our Troops.
Yeah, so I've been able to create care packages to send overseas, including Girl Scout cookies, toothbrush, toothpaste, fun little cards. On holidays, I've been able to go to the veterans home and give them a Valentine's Day card through, I did a project a couple weeks ago being able to send Valentine's Day cards, and with preschoolers, they made them with me, and then I took them over to the veterans home, and they just really appreciated the fact that the preschoolers took time to make these cards for them, and I took the time to bring them down to them.
And how did you get the little kids to work on these cards? Like, I mean, that sounds like it could be illegal.
Right.
No, just kidding.
Well, these little kids, you say, you're making them for veterans, and they're like, what is a veteran? So you sit there and explain to them, why they're making them. And some of the little kids also have parents in the military, and so they were able to, nudge their friend and be like, this is for my mom, or this is for my dad. And they made over 50 cards of just this little classroom of preschoolers. And if I can get little preschoolers to make cards, I can't imagine what college students or even older adults can be capable of doing.
That is so true. And the little kids, have you seen them grow?
Yes.
What kind of, you said that they've experienced more knowledge about what the military actually does, maybe something that they've never been exposed to before, but also they're taking that time and taking the initiative to start completing service projects at a young age.
Right.
Have you seen growth through that?
I have. There's been a couple kids who they went home and told their parents what they did at school that day, and came back to school and was like, when is that girl gonna come back in? And when can we do more things? So just growing in the fact that they are now introduced to community service and finding their own ways to get involved in the community at such a young age.
So you said you gave the Valentines to veterans. What other facets of troops are you supporting? Veterans, active duty members, who all is benefiting from Operation Support Our Troops?
Right, so it's not only, like you said, the veterans and the active duty military members, but it's also their families. It's that support that we are giving them, knowing that their loved one is being safe and their loved one is being cared for through these care packages, or, you know, if even we don't send a care package to their loved one, knowing that we're there in support if something were to happen, you know, making a meal for them in a time of need. So being able to just connect on that level with their families, and also getting the community involved. It's not just giving that opportunity for the veterans to come and this is what we're doing and this is who it's for. It's, hey community, why don't you get involved, and this is how you can support the cause.
And the people overseas, I'd imagine, I don't know if you have any personal experiences with this, but I'm sure it feels good to know that people are thinking about them.
Right.
Even if we can't see them, they can't see them, we know they're out there and they're keeping our country safe.
Yes.
And putting their lives on the line to do that. Do you have any experiences, or maybe even your father, of people that have benefited from receiving these care packages, or things that have been outcomes because of it? Maybe even a family in need after a crisis.
Right, so my dad has gotten many care packages from different Operation Support Our Troops networks around the country. And being able to have him come home and say, you know, those Girl Scout cookies really got to me when I was out in the field, and it just was that loving, caring motive that he brought back with him. And, you know, being able to say that somebody helped him in a time of need was great for him to come back with. And I have a friend who was stationed in Afghanistan, and he, you know, received care packages every other month just because people were so intrigued by the fact that they could do this and support the troops in that way, that he just was ecstatic and always waited for that day, because they knew when they were going to come in that care package was coming that day. And it was just a joy for them for being over in such a high combat zone to have that kind of break from the reality of what they were in.
Right. That sounds like I would need a break. And you mentioned Girl Scout cookies. I don't think anyone would ever have a bad day after eating some Girl Scout cookies.
Not at all. I know, even with pageant preparation, I'm like, oh, those cookies sound good. I'm about to take the whole box and eat them.
I'm about to take the whole box, go in my room. If no one sees it, it doesn't count. No, I'm just kidding. So when you are completing these care packages, are you sending them directly to someone? Do you have to know someone in the military in order to send them, or can you just create them and give them away, like to Operation Support Our Troops? Or how exactly is Operation Support Our Troops like the middleman?
Yeah, they can be the middleman. I mean, if you know somebody that's stationed overseas, there is a list online at the Operation Support Our Troops website, and it shows what you can send in these care packages, because there is things that, you know, aren't allowed in the care package. So knowing what to pack in the first place is something that you should look into. But if you know somebody, go ahead and send it. But if you don't, Operation Support Our Troops definitely is that middleman of being able to take your care package and send it to somebody in need.
And do you send it to Operation Support Our Troops, like an address posted on the website, or do they have like a physical building here, or how does that work?
It's an address that you send it to, or even if you wanted to donate items that they could put in a care package, their address is on the website and you just send it to them.
Okay, so no one is they're not gonna send care packages and then only one person out of the entire, what is it called, like when?
Platoon, battalion.
Okay, gotcha. So not just one person or a couple people, no one's gonna get left out. They're gonna make sure that everybody there is seeing the love and the appreciation for them. Okay, perfect. Thanks for helping me out there.
No, you're good.
I'm not savvy on the technical terms. So and you decided to compete in the Miss America organization in order to promote this cause. Have you seen any benefits? Like, what has the Miss America organization brought to your platform in the Miss Idaho organization?
Right. So the Miss America organization, and specifically the Miss Idaho organization, has shown me with my platform that I can do more than I actually thought. I never thought that I would be able to make 30 care packages and send them overseas to a unit that's deployed, or get little preschoolers involved with making cards and care packages. I never thought that I would be able to get to that level, and the Miss America organization has taught me that I can set goals and I can achieve them. And so being able to be in this organization has really brought my personal goals to the table.
And from what I've heard, just the process of actually competing is also going to be one that helps you set small goals and then see overall that can expand into a bigger goal and a bigger goal and a bigger goal. And at the end of the day, you've completed this outstanding task that maybe you haven't necessarily done in the past, kind of exactly what you said. Are there any things that you look forward to in terms of your platform and hoping to promote it some more?
Right, so I'm excited to promote it due to the fact that after I graduate, I'm going into the Navy. So it's going to affect me when I graduate and I'm gone. So I'm hoping that this service project and this platform can be promoted throughout the entire state, the entire nation, because I would love to, if I were to ever get deployed, have a care package and it have Operation Support Our Troops on it, and know that I started something and I, implemented that in the community, and that it's making a full circle.
And what are you said when you graduate, so what are you doing here at Boise State as of right now?
Yes, so I'm a communications major, and I'm emphasizing in relational and organizational communications. And so just working with people, networking, and seeing the organization as a whole and smaller units is really what I'm studying. And what I'm taking with that is graduating here and going to Idaho State University, the Meridian campus, and doing speech and language pathology, which I hope to in turn use for veterans, active duty, and their families working, deployed hospital or even a veteran's home, and kind of being able to implement my platform into my job as well.
Wow. So you take this one thing that started out as just a passion, something that you obviously saw the benefits from your father being engaged and involved in this kind of an organization, and now you're transferring them into what you actually want your job to be.
Yes.
What skills and what sets you apart do you think that will make you an excellent candidate for the kind of positions that you're looking for?
Well, I started doing military activities in high school. I did ROTC, and my senior year was able to be the commander of the entire unit. So I was in charge of 168 cadets that were all high schoolers, all ages, and being able to kind of have that insight of that leadership ability really taught me that I could be a leader, and that when I'm in the Navy, if I have cadets or if I have underclassmen under me, that I can lead them, and I'm able to show them the qualities that I can give and the qualities that they can give to the unit.
Do ROTC members typically involve themselves in Operation Support Our Troops? Is that something that organization promotes?
Yes, I've had a couple of the ROTC cadets here approach me and say, we want to help, how can we help? And I'm hoping that they can get involved in years to come with making care packages and getting involved that way.
And so that has really opened up like a whole community of people that you can engage with and learn from, and like you said, network with, and that will expand into your later career, which I would love to talk more about. So you said you want to graduate with a master's with linguistics and
speech and language pathology.
Okay, speech and language pathology. And so if you're deployed, can you still work overseas with that kind of, like how, that won't just benefit you, like if you are in an office, at a job, like you will be able to use use that major in those that skill set that you'll acquire anywhere.
Anywhere, yes. I could not be in the military, I could be in the military, and the skill sets that I've learned as a communication major and the skill sets that I'm going to be given when I complete my master's is something that I can use in any aspect of my life, not just my job, but working with people and making relationships with people. That's something that no communications major can say that is not going to benefit anyone.
They won't have the ability to do that because as a communication major, that's what you're trained to do. And I think I'm a communication major, so I can speak to this. Is communication majors usually have hearing that someone's a communication major, it usually has a negative connotation with it.
Yes.
How have you been able to overcome that, and how have you, how did you even get into that field of deciding to be a communication major, and then how did you overcome it?
So I originally came to Boise State as a health science major, and just being around communications majors, I was like, oh, they have it easy, they have classes that are once a week or anything like that. And I was like, well, being around them, they're so fun, and being around them, you're able to communicate better and learn new things. And so I switched my major and switched it.
Did you find that it was easier?
No. I found it to be so intriguing in the fact that my perception of communication majors was this negative connotation, and actually being in it, I now realize that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of learning from new people. It's a lot of communicating in a way that you never really thought. Just being able to really narrow down the fact that you are a communications major shouldn't be negative connotation at all.
Yeah, shouldn't be something that people look down on, because honestly, even if you have the most skills and ability in any field, like if you're not able to tell people exactly what your goals are and what you're trying to do, I mean, you can't really get anywhere. It's like trying to ride a broken bike.
Yes.
Which I've never done, but it sounds really hard.
But yeah, no, it's really being able to show people that is what is going to knock down that negative connotation.
And just doing what you're doing also, and just being involved in service and using those skills and abilities to help improve the lives of other people. Is there one specific place that you want to end up? Have you thought about career goals and where you want to be at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I really just want to be someplace where I'm going to be happy, whether that be serving my country overseas or right here in Idaho at the Veterans Home. That's really being happy is where I want to be.
And why have you chosen that particular career set? Do you have, I mean, speech is a pretty interesting thing to want to go in and major in. So why exactly have you chosen that as your choice?
I have that personal connection with my platform. It honestly has drove my career choice. It has drove my aspirations and goals. And it really just has taught me that I love working with people and I love being around people, and speaking with them is something that I would love to help with, and that's really what narrowed down my career choice.
So what exactly can you do with that career, with that kind of a major?
Right, so it's working with patients and individuals who have speech impediments. It's working with individuals who may have had a stroke and learning how to speak again. Or in my case, I'll be working with possibly active duty members who have gone through a crisis or an accident overseas and having to learn to speak again, or the motor skills that they need to learn again.
Oh, so it'll help with motor skills as well?
Yes, so motor skills, learning how to speak again. It's basically from the shoulders up.
Oh, Oh, have you had any involvement with helping out with that now that you've been visiting veterans' homes and you have been delivering these care packages?
Yeah.
How did you know there was a need for this?
I went to the veterans home and was volunteering one day, and off to the side I saw this woman and a veteran working together, and I was kind of overhearing what they were saying and trying to figure out what exactly they were doing. And afterwards I pulled her aside and I said, "Oh, what were you all doing? It looked fun." And because they were just having a conversation, but they were working with things in front of them too, like blocks, and they were like touching their faces and with the muscles. So being able to pull her aside and ask her what she was doing is something that she sparked the interest. And said, "We are looking for speech and language pathologists, and there's a need for them because there are so many veterans or active duty members who are getting older or go through these accidents and need that rehabilitation."
And how difficult is it for people to overcome that kind of a barrier if they do develop one through active duty service or through any kind of an incident where they do need rehabilitation? Is it a really long process, or is it something?
It depends. Okay. Yeah, it depends on the accident or even the person. It's individualistic. You could bounce back from, if a veteran had a stroke or anything like that, you could bounce back the next day. It may take months, years. It may never change. But it's that one-on-one work that you're having with that patient that's going to help, and it's going to give them the encouragement that they're going to get better.
Well, I feel like any kind of one-on-one time is going to help. Either it be someone that you're working with or even someone that you're volunteering with. Spending one-on-one time and having a positive attitude is going to lift someone up. Have you experienced that even just through your service in your participating with the Miss America Organization, or even just Operation Support Our Troops and in the Valentines that you have put together or the care packages that you've put together? Have you seen lives change, not from actually receiving them, but from doing the work of making them?
Right. I've seen lives change in the sense that there has been care packages received from people, and they're like, "How did you even do this? How can I get involved?" And it kind of makes that full circle of being able to get involved themselves. And that positive attitude is what is going to drive this platform. It's what's going to drive the community service in all of the United States. So being able to just have them be a part of it is that positive attitude.
And I don't know if we've showed it already, but there's a picture of you with the little kids actually doing the service and actually creating the little Valentines. What kinds of things do you put on there? What kind of things are uplifting messages? Or if someone is at home right now and wanting to create a care package, what kinds of things are going to be great for the Operation Support Our Troops?
So for cards, you put, "Thank you so much for your service. We're thinking of you. Thanks for fighting for our freedom." Just uplifting messages is really, as long as you say thank you, they appreciate that. If it was just a card, plain, and it said thank you on it, they would love that.
Just to know that you're thinking of them. That makes sense.
And for care packages, it's toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. You would think that some of these essentials would be over there with them, but they don't have time to go out to the store. They don't have time to order Girl Scout cookies. So being able to just send that to them is something that they really enjoy.
Well, I think it's really interesting that your father has benefited from these. You hope to benefit from these. You've said a little bit about the characteristics that your father developed in being in the military and having that duty of active service, but what do you hope to gain from joining the military and from participating in that?
I hope to get a better sense of myself. I hope that I can change the world, honestly. Being able to start small, the power of one is something that I really believe in, is starting with yourself and building on others and having that ripple effect of change in the world. And there's such a negative connotation of being in the military and, you know, doing it for the benefits, doing it for the fact that, you know, you get this high hierarchy.
Oh,
but
like praise or something
praise,
like that.
yes. And I'm doing it just to the fact of I want to give back to my country. I want to make that change in the world, and if I can better one of my comrades next to me, what will that do for the rest of the world?
Yeah, because if they go on and take that that initiative to be that ripple effect or to start that ripple effect, and then someone else does it, and then someone else does it. Like then the whole world is doing it. I'm doing it.
Yes.
My next door neighbor is doing it. In the end, at the end of the day, though, what is your goal? Like, what is your mission? What have you been working toward?
I've been working toward being able to get this project and have it be more than just something that's in the Boise community. Growing it so that it expands to the Idaho state and then to the entire United States. It's something that has been around for a while. You think about it and you may have done it a long time ago, but getting involved with it on a regular basis is something that I've been trying to have people be involved with. And my goal is to expand it and have more people involved with it.
So is it something that's just in the Boise community then? And it's something that you're hoping to expand outward? Or is this something that people all over the nation kind of team together and take part in?
People all over the nation team together and take part in. I believe that I've started it here in the Boise community just from the fact that I contacted Operation Support Our Troops and started a chapter here. So when people want to send stuff, they are going to be contacting me that are in Idaho. So they're going to contact me with my information and everything, and then I send it to the Operation Support Our Troops.
Okay. So you've probably seen everything that goes in and out of that place then.
Yes.
How much have you seen and how much have you gotten? How much have you been able to send out?
As far as right now, we are in the starting processes of getting donations and trying to build these care packages. We want to get as many as we can before we send them out due to the fact we don't just want one person benefiting. We want the entire unit, we want the entire platoon to be able to benefit from these care packages.
That makes sense. Well, I think that your communication major has done a lot in order to help you promote this cause and to continue to promote this cause. And obviously you look to do a lot with it in the future, and I think that's fantastic. It's not just something that you want to do right now in order to promote a cause, but you're actually going to be benefiting from all of the great things that you are hopefully starting here. So that is fantastic. And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's been just incredible having someone like you talk about all the things that you've been doing. And I think that's great. So thank you for tuning in to B-Limitless. And don't forget, one day you're going to look back on your life. Make today the day that you look at and say, that's where it all began. I'm Brittany Locke, and I'll see you next time.